All right, here we go, boys and girls, with 5th grade Excel lesson number 138. We're going to learn about calculating using exponents today. I'm sure most of you have seen exponents before and are probably somewhat familiar with them. Let's take a closer look and make sure that you can get some mastery over them today, okay? So here we go. Write the product, it says, for each problem and the number of times that 2 is a factor. So in the first one, 2 times 2 is equal to 4, obviously. And number 2 is a factor. This is a factor, this is a factor, 2 times. All right, let's do the next one together. You can kind of do it on your paper as I'm talking you through it. So here we have 2 times 2 times 2. Now you might be tempted to say that that's 6, but it's not 6. It's not 2 plus 2 plus 2. It's 2 times 2. You can only do 2 of these at a time. You can't do 3 of them at a time in your brain, really. 2 times 2 is 4. And then 4 times 2 is 8. So you should write 8 in there. How many times do you see the number 2 there? You see it 3 times. All right, pause the video and do the next 2 problems and then turn it back on to see the answers. So you should have already done this one here and this one here. And always make sure that you do those, that you pause the video. You should not keep the video going. You got to try that stuff on your own first. Otherwise, you will not learn it as deeply. And you'll be confused and you'll have to be asking for help later on. It's so worth pausing the video to do that. So here we have 2 times 2, which is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Now if you wrote that the answer was 8, maybe you added all those numbers together. How many times do you see 2 as a factor? You see it 4 times. The next one, we already know that 2 times 2 times 2 is equal to 16. All we have to do is multiply 16 times 2 and get 32. In fact, we could have done that for pretty much all of these, right? Just multiply the last answer by 2. So here we see the number 2 written 5 times as a factor. It says when the same factor is used more than once, it can be written in exponential form. Exponential form. Try saying that. Exponential form. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is the same thing as writing 2 to the 4th power. The base number is 2. That's called the base in this little mathematical setup. And the 4 is called the exponent. So 2, let's back up here. Okay, 2 squared right there. 2 to the 2nd power or 2 squared. That's another way of saying that is 2 squared. 2 with a little 3 after it, 2 as the base and 3 as the exponent, is read 2 to the 3rd power or 2 cubed. You have shortcuts for both this one and this one. In fact, any number, if I put a little 2 up there, that's called 6 squared. If I put a 3 in the exponent, it's called 6 cubed. And those are the only 2 that have shortcut names for them. Think about it. When we write the number like this, we can call that 1/2. We don't really call it 1/2. It's like a shortcut word for that. All right, and then 2 to the, with a little 4 as the exponent, is called 2 to the 4th power. Moving right along, for each number given in exponential form, identify the base and the exponent. Oh, this is so easy. Which number is the base in number 1? 3. Which one is the exponent? 6. Pause the video and do up to number 7. Alright, so you should have got the base here of 4, the exponent of 5, base is 7, exponent is 2, base is 8, exponent 4, base 2, exponent 7, base 5, exponent 3, base 6, exponent 8. Sure hope you got all those right. That's not too tough, huh? A dot is sometimes used instead of an X to indicate multiplication. That's like the middle school and high school way of doing multiplication. For example, 3.3 equals 9. 3 times 3 is 9. 2.2 is equal to 8 because that's 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. And 4 times 3 squared is equal to 4 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Multiply that times 4 and you get 36. If I went a little too fast for you there, maybe you can back up the video and listen to me say that again. Also, you need to know that any number to the 0 power is equal to 1. 4 to the 0 power is 1. 10 to the 0 power is 1. 54 to the 0 power is 1. What is 63 to the 0 power? Write that on your paper and put the answer right here. All right, you should have gotten the answer of 1. And let's move right along here. Moving on to number 8. It shows you how to solve exponential problems here. The base is 2, the exponent is 3. What they did was they showed their work. This is how the problem is written. Well, not with the 8 there. It's just written as 2 cubed. What I want you to do on your paper is write 2 times 2 times 2 and then write what the answer is. All right, so number 9, 10 cubed. You should write 10 times 10. Go ahead and put that on your paper with a dot times 10. Make sure the dot is right in the middle, not down at the bottom, otherwise it looks like a decimal point. And then write an equal sign. Go ahead and pause the video and fill in the answer for that. All right, what you should have written is not 30. If you put 30, you added them together. 10 times 10 is 100. 100 times 10 is 1,000. Oh, did you get that one right? If you did, then you're on the right track. If you didn't, then learn from your mistakes. All right, pause the video and try just number 10, only number 10, and then turn it back on. All right, so for this one, you should have written 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, 2 to the 5th power. And the answer to that is 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16, 16 times 2 is 32, or you can put the answer right down here as 32. All right, here's another problem that's showing you how to make it a little bit more complicated. So number 11 shows you that 2 times 5 cubed, or 5 to the 3rd power, is equal to 2 times 5 times 5 times 5. 5 times 5 times 5 is not equal to 15. That's what 5 plus 5 plus 5 is. That's equal to 25 times 5, which is 125. So it's 2 times 125, which is 250. Again, you might want to pause the video and take a look at that one for a second. Let that absorb into your brain. Make sure you understand that before you try the other ones. I really want you to get these last two right on your own. Once you're ready, pause the video, do the last two problems, 12 and 13, and turn it back on when you're ready to see the answer. All right, so here you should have written 5 times, did you put a parentheses? Go ahead and add that in if you didn't. 6 times 6, because that's what 6 squared is equal to. And then underneath that, you should have written, oh, you might need to erase your paper. Notice how it was done over here. You need to do it the same way. 5 times 36, and then we have to calculate. I'm going to go and use this spot up here. 36 times 5. 6 times 5 is 30. Carry the 3. 3 times 5 is 15. Plus 3 is 18. So 5 times 36 is 180. Did you get it right? All right, fix your paper if you didn't. And number 13, you should have written, and by the way, if you didn't get that one right, you might want to pause and do number 13 again before I show you the answer. It's always best to have the right answers before I show them to you. All right, 4 times, now we know anything to the 0 power is equal to 1. So all you had to do is write 4 times 1, and that's equal to 4. All right, so hopefully you know a little bit more about exponents now. Thank you for watching.